When we move from segregation to inclusion, we're recognizing that everyone has a right to have a place in the community. And that's really important for people who are living with intellectual disabilities, that they're part of the community, that they belong and they're accepted as themselves.
Well, it was started by Breg de Groot and Beth de Chef. They started the school because they had children who needed help. But there was no school for these children. And that was wrong. And they knew it was wrong. So they and other friends, I'm sure, would have been involved. And I believe they started with the children in Beth's attic. They got it under the school board that they would pay, and they gave them a school called de Groot School for the children, not just their two children, but they had gathered a number of children by that time. So that's where they got started with the school, and that's why they got started.
Like I always refer to the association, but they've changed names so many times over the course of history, because the organization, the association's was around for 70 plus years, and they've had such a profound impact on our community, and the association has played an integral role in shaping policy within our government, as well as in shaping the lives of people with disabilities throughout Saskatchewan.
We used to joke that Inclusion Regina, or RDACL, Regina District Association for Community Living as it was at the time, was a clearinghouse of information. Initially, beginning with print resources, Inclusion Regina, or RDACL, had a newsletter. As time went on, of course, that became an electronic newsletter, and then a website, and then a Facebook page with Twitter.
But when I think back to the work of the association and that 70-year history, what is it that those families were striving for? They were striving for their child to be connected, for their child to have a sense of belonging, have a sense of meaning, and a sense of purpose in their day-to-day life. And looking for people to be able to develop a strong circle of support around their loved one so that their child was with people who truly wanted to be in their life.
Across the country, there are various local and provincial and national associations for community living that were advocating for the dissolution of institutions. It's really like a hospital, right? And there's a lot of knowledgeable professionals there, and people with special needs live in there, right? It's like living in a hospital. Well, just, access your memory or someone that spent some time in the hospital, and how much fun was that, right? So there was a lot of inertia to change things. One of the arguments against deinstitutionalization was there are some very high needs people in there. They won't fit in community. So Creative Options Regina is starting to show with their range of services and philosophies that even people with high and complex needs can thrive in community, which says, well, then maybe you don't need to have them in an institution. So it really was a good model for a contrary model, if you will, to institutionalization, right? And of course, RDACL at the time was supporting or advocating a move away from institutions. So it was a really good fit.
I think about, what a lonely existence it must be if the only people in your life are those who are paid to be there. And this is one of the strengths of the association, was that they were able to develop strong circles of support around people that truly wanted to be with that person because they saw the value of who that person is, and they weren't just there because they were being paid to be there.
Each of us has a place in society and should be accepted and recognized for our place. But everybody has a place, and Inclusion Regina always insisted that that was part of our role, to make sure that society knew that there was a place
And this is the work that we as an organization are rooted in, and this is the work that we're wanting to carry forward into the future, and in order to build those strong circles of support around people, to provide some peace of mind for families in knowing that they're not in this alone, that there are people who care for their child, and that we're going to work together as partners in providing that support for their loved one in a way that's reflective of their hopes and their goals and their dreams and their needs.
What a pleasure to be able to have spent my time with this kind of bravery. It's just amazing.